Now I would like to show you how to prepare a terminology export for Trados users from memoQ. To do this, we first select the term base which we would like to export. And if we want to send the entire term base, we can go down to the export to CSV command. The name of this command will change in later versions of memoQ, but for now it's called export to CSV. But actually, I'd like to send only a small selection of the terminology in this database. So first, I'm going to have to filter that. To do this, I go to Edit, and in the term base, I'm going to apply a filter. Now, you may look at this and ask yourself, well, what am I going to export? Because we don't see any terms. The project that I'm in right now is set to US English and German German. But what you're looking at here is a view for English unspecified and German without a sublanguage specified. If we select the sublanguages, like this, you'll notice that the terms for those sublanguages appear. And what I would also like to do is apply a filter so that I'm only exporting the terms that were created after a certain date. To filter, I go to the term base menu and select the filter command, and I'm going to tell it to filter all of the terminology that was created after the 4th of August. And by selecting after and before, I could also specify a particular date range. But in this case, I want everything that was created after the 4th of August. Then I go over and click Accept. Now I could also, if I wanted to, filter based on some of the metadata for the project, the domain, client, and so on. But I don't want to do that in this case. Here we see all of the terms which were created after the 4th of August. Here we see the dates on which the terms were last modified. And now I'd like to export them. To do this, I go to the term base menu, select Export, and I get a small warning that I'm not going to be exporting all of the term base, but only the terms which I'm currently viewing, which is exactly what I want. So I'll confirm that by clicking Yes. And the default export in memoQ is to export to CSV. However, memoQ allows you to export in multi-term XML format. This will make it possible for the Trados user to import the terms directly into multi-term and then use them in various versions of Trados. So we're going to do that. We're going to select Export as multi-term. And I could simply click Export, and the file would export to the path and the name that are shown here. But I'd like to put this file somewhere else, so I'm going to click this button. And then before I save it, I notice, whoops, it says comma separated values CSV, but I actually chose multi-term XML. This is a bug in the current version of memoQ. It's been reported. I'm told it's going to be fixed in later versions. But for now, I have to explicitly select multi-term XML files twice in principle. And now I click Save. And then click Export. Now let's have a look and see what the files are that were created. Here we see 3 files. An XML file which contains the terminology, an XDT file which is the definition file for the term base in multi-term, and an XDL, I forget what that is, it doesn't matter. In any case, these 3 files need to be passed on to the Trados user, and with these, a multi-term terminology can be created for use in Trados.